Welcome to episode 1 of A Second of Reality. My name is Zach Parsons. I'm joined by my co-host Jake DeBon. And Jake, we're ready to talk some Bachelor. We're talking
Best time of
reality
the year.
television. We're doing it all. We're doing it. We're going to talk about the season premiere of Grant Ellis' season of The Bachelor.
Yep.
We are no rookie to reality television, me and you. I've been out of the Bachelorette game for a couple years.
I'm excited for you to jump back in.
I'd like to say that I'm an OG Bachelor guy. Like Tristan and Ryan, I was there. I watched it, but the last few years of this show just haven't really grabbed me. And but I'm excited to get back into it. I've always been more of a Bachelor guy than a Bachelorette guy.
Yeah, for sure.
What is your first season of watching this franchise that you remember?
So I was a little bit later. I always saw bits and parts of it, but the first season I grinded and saw the whole season was Ben Higgins, Indiana guy. So I wanted to watch that one. Loved that one. I mean, Pacers made a cameo on Ben Higgins' season later on in the year.
True.
So that was awesome. And I kind of got hooked on it. I thought Ben was a good guy. I thought he had really good women there to choose from. And I mean, JoJo was probably still the best woman to ever come through the Bachelor series, in my opinion. So I can't believe Ben Higgins messed that up so bad. But
the girl he ended up with, right? They're still together?
No, not at all.
Shit.
She married a country singer, so that's fun. What's her name again? I honestly don't remember.
She married Chris Lane, right?
Yeah. Yes. Oh no. Bad start.
I can't remember
who it was. Yeah.
Hold on. You keep talking. I'm going to look it up here.
Yeah, we had to figure it out. She married Chris Lane.
She has a name that, it's like a Lauren. Is it Lauren? Is it Lauren?
It's Lauren B. Lauren Bushnell.
There you go. I was like, it's one of those names where it's like Lauren B. or Lauren A.
And there are multiple Laurens on the year, so that's...
Lauren Bushnell. For sure,
so that was my first one. I can't remember how many years ago that was now. Feels like 8 or 9 probably. But yeah,
that was a while ago that they were that she was on the show.
Yeah, I also watched Ari Lyndike, but I can't remember if he was before or after Ben Higgins because he was big racing fan. Yeah,
he was after for sure. Lauren Bushnell, Bachelor season. I'm just looking it up really quick. Peek behind the old curtain. Let's see, 20th season of The Bachelor. Whenever that was. What season are we on now? 2016. 2016. The great year of 2016 is when Bachelor season 20. So that's that. We're gonna get into Grant. It's kind of refreshing because I don't have any opinions of Grant going into this. It's all fresh.
Same.
It's like watching The Bachelor for the first time. Don't know any of these women. Don't know the guy. So I'm just going based on just what I see with my own 2 eyes here. So I want to get your initial thoughts on Grant. Were you excited when you didn't know Grant either, right? So so I guess that doesn't really matter. The first thing I guess I want to start with that I was shocked by, and if I watched a previous season with him, maybe I wouldn't, because apparently the internet kind of knew this. He drives a Ferrari.
Yeah, that was shocking, especially since they were like, oh, he played professional basketball, and then they cut to him in obviously European league that he had to have been making 12 cents an hour. So I don't know. Obviously his family has money somehow. Or he made a lot of money after his pro basketball career, doing something else probably.
The
my guess.
shot they showed of him pulling into his family's driveway or whatever that was in the beginning, it clearly the driveway scraped the bottom of the Ferrari and they just kind of went by and didn't, whatever. I was like, we couldn't have reshot that and made that look cooler, or better, but whatever. Grant is a hooper, professional or former professional basketball player, I guess. It's you can tell that the girls know that he played basketball because a bunch of them love to bring up, I'm not good at basketball. Can you teach me? Or I did play basketball. Here we go. That's going to be a big storyline of the season for sure. I think is just we might get some professional teams. You mentioned the Pacers earlier. We might get some professional teams that show up on The Bachelor this year because Grant was, some sort of in some dates there, some sort of way there. Let's talk about best and worst entrances I don't know if there's anything that kind of stuck out to you. I just want to say I really loved, and spoilers. Well, spoilers, whatever. Janae, she didn't get a rose. One of the women that didn't get a rose. She did the LeBron chalk out of the limo. I appreciated that one. That was great.
That one was really good. My favorite was the t-shirt cannon. I thought that was sick.
The t-shirt cannon. I think that was Zoe. Yeah.
Also, this t-shirt cannon was the most elaborate t-shirt cannon I've ever seen in my life. It wasn't just like a handheld one. I mean, it was like 2-hand bazooka t-shirt cannon.
You could like kill somebody with that. With that t-shirt cannon that she was using.
Firing this thing over the house indiscriminately into the
house. Like, do we think that actually happened? Is that like a TV thing, or do we think like they were actually launching like 10 t-shirts over the mansion and Grant wasn't like, oh yeah, this is weird?
Right. Like, I choose to believe it was real because it was so funny. Because a couple of them landed just like inches away from the women. And a couple of them landed in the pool. Like, it was bizarre, but it was awesome.
Who was it? Is it Chloe? I think maybe the plus size model. She like put one of the t-shirts on or something.
Yes.
Funny.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a good one. Let's see. I'm trying to look at my notes here of some of the other people that had the entrances were just like
very mad.
Okay. The big one is the llama, right? And it's from Alex. And I'm gonna come out and say already, I'm an Alex hater. I just am.
Why? I mean, I don't like her, but I don't hate her yet. I only hate one person.
Maybe I shouldn't say an Alex hater. I got the vibe that this was before the first impression rose he gave out, but I got the vibe that he was not really into her. And I wrote in my notes, she will stick around 3 weeks longer than she should, because I think people are going to like her. Like the producers are going to like her because she's going to talk a lot and maybe narrate the story for them in the ITM interviews and like stuff like that. But she got the first impression rose. But the llama, is that something she actually came up with? Or no?
No, that was 100% producer one.
Yeah, that was just like, hey, if you're going to be on the show, you're going to have to be the llama lady.
Yeah, I think most of the like big physical gags are all producer intervened.
Yeah,
and I think that was definitely one of them. Now I think that they were like, hey, we got this llama. Didn't want to grow up on a farm, and she did grow up on a farm.
Hey, we just found this here, llama.
So I think it was just like, well, listen, you're a farm girl, and we do have this llama. You're gonna go in with a llama.
Yeah, that's and then when Grant says, "Is that a donkey?" I said, "Really, brother?"
Yeah, oh, that's tough.
It's like, dude, we can't be. You looked at the llama and you called it a donkey. What's going on here? That guy didn't grow up on a farm, clearly.
Although some of these girls were asking good questions. What is the difference between an alpaca and a llama? Because I don't know.
Do you know?
Nobody knows.
I'm not an expert. I'm not an expert between alpacas and llamas. That's
some
not
of the
my
girls
bag.
Are asking good questions.
That's fair. That's completely fair. Some of the other entrances that I thought were kind of interesting. Allie Joe, the New Jersey boxing trainer, pulled up in a Jeep, like I believe it was a white Jeep with pizza, was very loud. She's going to talk a lot. You can tell that she's going to get in the mix. She's going to get into the drama this year because she's being a girl from New Jersey. She's probably not going to take kindly to people saying stuff to her, and she'll fight back. She'll beat a girl's ass, it looks trainer. Like, if she's a boxing trainer.
Yeah.
She'll beat a girl's ass. Let's see. Any other ones that you thought were worth mentioning here? I'm just looking through my notes.
No, I thought they were kind of mid this year. Like a lot of the
it wasn't like super special. I feel like nothing crazy.
And to be honest, usually there's like a couple, like 2-3 girls that are like, oh my gosh, like that entrance made like a big impact on the main contestant, and I don't feel like that was anybody this year.
No, I didn't. I didn't think so either.
I feel like he was only like wow one time, and I can't even remember who it was for.
Yeah, and even like the bad entrances, he kind of liked at the same. It wasn't like he didn't even, which is good for him. Like good on him to not like make people feel weird and stuff.
Yeah.
But, that he handled his stuff well. He's you can tell he's been on camera, I guess. I feel like he's very like he knows what's up, and he's been on camera before. Man likes to cry a lot.
Yeah. And he's a very emotional guy, which is kind of surprising to me. Also, a thing that's a little bit refreshing is that they went a little bit older. Like he's 30, he's 31 now already. So and for Bachelor, that's getting old. So I like that they went that direction, and a lot of the contestants are kind of pushing that direction. There are some young ones that are in their 25, mid-20s.
The youngest contestant, I think, is 27. Is the youngest contestant.
There's one PhD student from
Natalie,
Louisville.
25.
Yeah.
Natalie is 25. That's the youngest contestant. You're right.
Yep.
And then Ella is 25. I missed her as well. But yeah, I mean, the rest of them are all like 27 to 30, which is good.
Yeah.
Like 31, which is good. 32.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought it was it very age appropriate as well, which is good.
Yeah.
Which I think has been a flaw of the Bachelor show in the past, of putting 21-year-olds on television and expecting them to get married.
Well, I just think some people were starting to actually get sick of like they'll be engaged for 6 months out of the show and then we'll never hear from them ever again. You know?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And honestly, that was part of it for me, where it's just like, what are we doing the show for? Like, you're gonna be together for 6 months after, like you said, 6 months after the show, and then just break up. Yeah. Matt and Rachel Kirkconnell just broke up as well. Speaking of old Bachelor couples,
I saw she's going on Call Her Daddy, so good for her.
I'm excited to see what that's about, because she hasn't said anything. Matt James really hasn't said anything since, and
all the comments were on her side, Rachel's side, which is a heel turn for how she began.
I tell you what, that is a heel turn, because she was the most hated person on the internet when she was on The Bachelor, right? Because of the stuff, we don't need to get into that, but you can go look it up yourself if you really want to look into it. But quite the turn. And then Matt James, the craziest thing about them, we were getting into this tangent about them, I guess, but the crazy thing about them is Matt James posts the Instagram, like, saying that they are breaking up, and the next day, or I'm sorry, sorry. Matt James and Rachel post a video together. They're lovey-dovey. They're doing like a food review. That's like their content. That's what they like to do. And then the next day, Matt James like, yeah, we're broken up, and didn't really like say anything after that. It's like, what the fuck happened? So something happened. My guess is that she wants to get married, and Matt James is like, I don't know if I really want to commit like that yet. Is what I am hypothesizing, and she kind of gave him an ultimatum.
That could definitely be true. I mean, he struggled making his mind up. He sent Rachel home because of all her controversy on the show, and then immediately went and picked her after. So I feel like he's always had issues with making huge decisions. So.
Yeah, big time.
This one lasted a lot longer than most of them, so good for them.
It did. 4 years. 4 years. Yeah. You got to give them credit. Give them credit. One of the longer lasting recent relationships for sure. So Grant's sister shows up to the house. We're going to get back to the episode here. Grant's sister shows up to the house. It's a big dramatic thing. They're like, this extra girl is coming in. And I'm like, holy shit. Is this going to be like, I don't know. I was like, is it going to be the girl? Is it the last Bachelor? Bachelorette? Is she coming back in? Like some Hannah Brown shit with Pilot Pete? Like, what is going on? It ends up just being Grant's sister. She shows up. She actually like roasts Grant. It's not even like, at least the portion on the television stuff that they were showing, it wasn't so much just like helping Grant. It was like, you want some stories? You want me to tell you about Grant? Showed some baby pictures and stuff like that. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Not one girl, by the way, not one girl smart enough to be like, maybe that's his sister. Everyone's like,
not a single one.
It's a new girl. Oh my God, she's so beautiful.
Fuck that bitch.
Yeah, not one. There was never one girl that was like, maybe it's just a family member.
They were all cussing her. There was one
That's
girl
how diabolical this series is. That these girls' minds are in a pretzel immediately. Like, oh my God, how is this going to ruin my life?
It really is. It was. I can't remember which girl it was, but after they talked to them all, like the sister talked, and she was like, I think she said, I'm sorry for all the stuff we were saying about you. Like, it was like already getting out in front of it. It was like, hey, we were saying some shit about you that's probably going to end up on television. I'm sorry. Okay, I take it all back. You're not trying to, get with Grant, which I thought was funny.
Very funny.
Some of the one-on-one interactions between Grant and the girls, and not a lot going on, not a lot of like stuff. It was all just like, all right.
He's very emotional, but he's a bad conversationalist.
Yeah,
like
he definitely is.
He'll open up, he'll give a monologue, but when like asking questions, he like doesn't scratch much more than the surface. I feel like.
Is that why you think he likes Alex? Because he's just like, you're just gonna talk a lot, and I'm just gonna be here.
All jokes aside, I am similar in my relationships. I mean, Shelby talked a lot our first date, and I was so thankful for it because I was so nervous, So maybe he was just really nervous, and he did need somebody to lead the conversation. And I mean, I could see why he thought their relationship was a little bit deeper than everybody else's on night one.
Yeah, for sure. Our boy was doing some kissing. Grant was doing some kissing on night one. 7 women. Is that more than normal? Of like,
no, it's picked up in recent years. It's picked up.
Is that
we be kissing on night one?
Everyone's just kissing night one.
Oh
now?
yeah.
That's what kids are doing.
That's average at best, I'd say.
Okay, all right. So 7 isn't that great.
No, and the funny thing to me is that some of these girls are like, "I'm not going to kiss on the first date," and then they immediately
Alicia
on the first date.
Alicia was like, "Yeah, I don't kiss on the first date.
Yeah,
I don't." And then, boy, howdy was she?
Yeah,
boy, howdy so was funny. She? That was very good. And then the most awkward one-on-one interaction I feel like is Parissa in the PowerPoint.
I didn't hate it. You hated it? I didn't hate it.
I thought it was so fucking cringy and bad. I thought it was bad.
I didn't hate her doing it. He didn't react well to it. I guess.
No,
so
well,
it didn't
I guess I'm right, and I guess I'm similar to Grant, where if someone was like, "Here, let me show you a PowerPoint on our first date," I'd be like, "That's what we're doing." The PowerPoint,
right?
PowerPoints are cool. Okay. I guess what really made me feel so strongly about it is during the rose ceremony when she kept saying, and it's all produced, right? It's all cut, it's edit. Like, I get it, but I'm just going based off of what they showed us on the television, right? Because that's what this is, the television show. But she just kept saying, I guess my PowerPoint wasn't good enough. I guess I should have, it's like,
I'm never doing a PowerPoint again.
Yeah, it's like,
she said that PowerPoint. Yeah, I don't know. I don't. Yeah, she thought this was going to be this massive game changer. It's like, I will 100% get through on night one if I make this great PowerPoint.
Like, these 7 slides I'm going to make in Microsoft PowerPoint is going to be incredible.
The thing I found creepy about the PowerPoint was the clearly AI generated images. Those were creepy.
Those were weird. And I think that's what weirded Grant out the most.
Yeah. Any AI generated image just is like uncanny valley. You don't like to look at it. So that was the weird part. Just like Photoshop some stuff dumbly in there. That would have landed better, I think.
Right. Yeah. Like you Photoshopping like you pregnant with Grant's kid on your first date. It's like, all right, I don't know.
Yeah. Weird. Very weird.
I know this is The Bachelor and we speed things up, but I don't know if we're that sped up. I don't know. I don't know. So the first impression rose comes out, and I guess the
new twist. Is that what you're
I'm sorry. Yes. Again, first impression rose comes out, new twist on it. If you get the first impression rose, you get the first one-on-one date, which is huge.
Yes.
Because back in my day, at least, if you get the first impression rose, you're usually not getting a one-on-one date for 2 or 3 weeks because that's just kind of how things went, right?
True.
It's like, well, we hung out a lot on night one, so I'm going to hang out with these other girls now and try to get to know them better, and that's that.
But I was talking to Shelby. Do you think getting the first one-on-one is actually disadvantaged? Because you go first, you establish a great connection, you're going to go through for at least 2 or 3 weeks probably. But then you kind of just get left behind, and he goes on dates later and later and later. And it's like, oh, but you already had your time. And he keeps on going on dates later and later. And like your relationship's kind of like fading with him. I think it's actually a thing I wouldn't want to do. I wouldn't want to go on the first one-on-one.
I like that. I never really thought about it that way, but it does make sense. I mean, that does happen, right? It's like
It seems like
You
it
hear
happens
about
every
it all
year.
the time. You
Yep.
hear about it all the time with the first one-on-one. They're like, I haven't been on a date with him in multiple weeks, and I feel like our
Yep.
relationship isn't as strong. So yeah, I think you're probably
Mm-hmm.
right with that.
Yep.
Honestly, so that is interesting. Um, let's see, and then so you do like Alex? You're an Alex fan?
I don't like any of them yet, but
Okay,
I
all
do.
right, okay, that's fine.
But I do think Alex is fine. She's likable.
Yeah,
I could like her in the future. I'm not gonna. I don't know. You know, like my
okay,
night one. I don't even know half these girls' names yet. Still,
yeah,
you
that's
know,
fair.
we
That's
cut out the.
that
You
is
know, we cut out some of the bad ones early already. Give me one more
yeah.
week and I'll know their names.
That is completely fair. This week we lost Janae, Radhika,
Mm-hmm.
Kylie,
She had some
Christina.
crazy eyes, by the way. Radhika, crazy eyes. I
Radhika
do
did have
remember
some
her.
crazy eyes. Yes, the Dancing Out of the Limit. She was the Bollywood dancer.
Mm-hmm.
Kylie, Christina, Nisi, and Kelsey, and then Savannah, the wedding planner, who brought a wedding cake. That was a weird one too. Bringing a wedding cake,
Yeah.
also a weird thing. I
Hey,
know
you know
you're a
what
wedding
didn't hit
planner,
for
but
me? I didn't. The ones that didn't hit for me were the ones that that brought merchandise that said Mrs. Ellis on it. To me, that's
yeah, that
cringy.
was yeah,
I'm out
yeah,
on
that was
that.
weird too. The girl that wore the jacket, I think, or a t
Yep.
yeah, had the t-shirt or something. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that is strange. Um, okay, give me your final four prediction. Who
Okay.
who's doing the hometowns from this
This is
season? I have
this
my
is
four. You at your four?
this is so early,
Yeah,
so God
we're
knows
just
these
gonna
are probably
see. We're
not going
just
to
gonna
hit.
see.
But
As I
yeah,
say, it probably won't, but we're just gonna
I
see. We're gonna look back on this and see what happens.
I'm gonna hedge my bets and I'm gonna take Alex. I think Alex goes far. I
Okay.
I mean, first impression Rose hit rate is pretty high. With women, it's exceptionally high on the Bachelorette. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna take Alex. I think that's a safe-ish pick. Hedging my bets there. I'm gonna take Rose just because I love when he says Rose, will you accept this rose? I'm in on that all year. Uh,
Okay.
I like
Okay.
Chloe. I think Chloe's a lot of fun. Chloe is not ready to get married. I looked over to Shelby when they were introducing Chloe. She's from New York. She's 27. She was like, "Oh, I'm there to see if we vibe," and like, but she never mentioned marriage or anything. But I'm gonna take Chloe. She seems fun. She'd be good for Summer House. She's not on Summer House. She's on The Bachelor. But I digress. And then give
Crossover, maybe.
me, yeah, okay. I don't know her name. Shiramafina. What's her name?
Oh, Serafina?
Seraphina. She's gonna go
Yes,
far. I think she's great too.
think so.
I like
I
Seraphina.
had I had a red flag for Serafina,
Oh
and
no,
my
I might
my
not have picked
red
up on it.
flag. No, my red flag for Serafina. I was looking while I was watching the show last night. I was looking at the on ABC.com. They have like little biographies and then like fun facts for each of the people. One of her fun facts is Serafina really wants to learn how to play tennis. That's not a fun fact.
Yeah,
That's a
that's
goal. That's a New Year's
yeah,
resolution,
yeah.
but
What
that's not
else?
a fun fact. You had to provide three fun facts, and you couldn't come up with a third fun fact. Um,
Yeah,
so
maybe she
that
just
that
hates
is my
talking about
red flag
herself.
for Serafina.
Yeah,
Uh, but no, that's more of a joke, obviously. But I did think that was funny when I was looking
right.
at the profiles. So my final four are going to be Rose. I have Alicia, the girl
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't kiss on first dates but does.
But does
Uh-huh. Dina. We're gonna go
no
Dina.
Dina's evil. You're fucking evil. She's a bitch, and she's gonna be the villain of this season. I'm calling it right now.
Okay, I like that. I like that. I'm gonna go Dina. She's a bitch. And then my fourth is Carolina. I like Carolina a lot, and Grant did say that he wanted to kiss Carolina night one, but he could tell that she was not into it.
Time out. Time out.
Yo,
You have a type. Dina, Alicia, Carolina. What? They all us. They all in and us, dude.
that's the people I have, dude. I don't Juliana. Do you want me to do that one instead?
Yeah,
There's
take
not a
Rose out
lot
of
of
there. Rose is mine.
Lydia. There's not a it's a lot of us, dude.
Too
Parisa,
many
you want me to do
us.
that?
Yeah, they finally got rid of like the same name and then have to use their first initial, and now they're just
Yeah,
so many us, so
yeah,
many us.
yeah. Oh, I forgot to say the one person I don't actually feel strongly enough to. I feel strongly about this take that I will not like this person.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's Bailey, the social media manager
Okay.
that was just
Yeah.
taking selfies with him. She is
Yeah.
only there. She if it was Grant's
I
true
don't
decision,
know.
she would not have made it through this first round.
I don't
But I
know.
think the producers are like, you're like just weird enough where you're gonna make for good television.
I think watching the previews for the weeks coming up are cheating because they give away a lot in those
They
things.
do.
And I accidentally watched it, and it seemed like that girl went kind of far. She was definitely not in LA. They were like traveling somewhere. So I
Yeah.
don't know. He might
I
like her.
don't know. It was just the first thing when she was like, hi, whatever, like in their initial, not their first meeting, but well, their first meeting too. She had him do like a photo shoot for her. It's like,
Yep.
what?
Yeah. Yeah. She goes, "Can you take a picture?" And he goes to take a selfie. She's like, "No, just of me, actually."
Yeah. It's like,
Crazy.
okay, that's a red flag, Tail.
Yeah.
That's a red flag.
You're wrong about Dina, man. Dina sucks. I don't know what to
We'll
tell you.
see.
You're
Like
gonna.
I said,
You're gonna.
you said it before, where it's like all of these could be wrong or whatever. But those were just my first vibes out the gate.
Yeah.
Updates to come there. How optimistic? Last question before we head out here. How optimistic are you that this is going to be a good season of The Bachelor?
I don't know. I'm worried about Grant a little bit. My first
Me too.
impressions of him are good. I think that he'll be fine. I don't think like he's gonna be like a Juan Pablo situation, but I just don't know if he's ever gonna get deep enough with any of these women, and if any of these women are even capable of pulling that out of him for it to be like super meaningful.
It comes down to hour of, apparently. I watched the preview too. It comes down to hour of that he still doesn't know who he's going to pick between his final two, is what they're telling me. So
bad sign.
Bad sign. That's a bad
indecisive.
Sign.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot of drama this episode. Like this episode, I'm sure the drama is going to kick back up. Sorry, I cut you off. Sorry. How optimistic are you on a scale of like 1 to 10?
Oh, I'll say 5. I think I'm right on average. I'm not optimistic or unoptimistic yet. I think I'm swaying more towards unoptimistic that it's going to work, but I think it'll be a fine season. You know, I'm excited.
I do think that Grant's going to get boring, which is what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid of Grant getting boring.
And do we have enough entertaining girls to make up for it? I don't know.
I don't think we do. Like,
I know
a lot of these girls seem too normal.
I just think they're boring. Not even normal. They're just boring.
I mean, yeah, sure. Well, but normal people are boring, right? Where it's just, where it's just, like I think they're, and we're going to learn more about them, but like a lot of the stuff that we kind of learned about them was like, they love Grant. You know, that's really all they said.
The funniest highlight for me was when Chloe caught the t-shirt cannon over the house and then put the shirt on. Then that's like surface level funny. So it's like that's why I like Chloe. I'm rocking with Chloe, but I don't know. I hope it's entertaining. We'll see.
I like Chloe too. I said to Jack when we were watching, I was like, she's like the most normal looking person out of everyone here. So like I think
Bachelor history ever, because she's a plus size model. Like all these girls.
There was a fat guy on last Bachelorette.
Oh, really?
There was a fat guy. There was one of us on the Bachelorette last year for Jin Tran. I looked up. I was like, because I thought that too. I was like, is there ever been like bigger people on this show? And I guess just last season, bigger guy. So
hell yeah,
here we are.
You go home night 1.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, I believe so. Either the first or second week. Like he didn't make it very far at all. I don't think.
Grocery Manager Joe was the closest we had ever.
Yeah, that's true. But he's still too hot. He's still too hot. Yeah. All right. That's good stuff. I'm probably, I'll say like a 5.5 out of 10 with you on optimistic whether this is going to be a good season or not. But I'm excited to keep watching. We are going to be releasing these episodes. They come out on Mondays. We're recording on Tuesday. They're going to be about a half hour, I would say, a week. Yep. But yeah, I think that about does it. Is there anything else you want to talk about before we get out of here?
No, that's it. Go Grant, dude. You got this, buddy.
Follow us on Twitter, on YouTube. You're watching this on YouTube. Please subscribe to us on YouTube. Like this video. Please leave a comment. What should I leave a comment about?
What shows you might want us to watch? Because there's a couple shows floating around there that I got an idea that maybe I want to watch, maybe not when it comes to reality. So maybe we'll follow your advice if you leave us a comment.
And then also leave a comment about who your favorite contestant is this year after night one. And I want to go back and look and see who everyone says at the end of the season.
The winner gets $5 if you pick the winner.
Okay, there you go. If you leave a comment
I'll Venmo
and you
$5.
comment the winner, Jake Venmos you $5.
Don't cheat.
No cheating, assholes. Don't go to reality, Steve. Goddammit.
You just let them know how to do it, dude. Oh my gosh.
Or I mean, reality beef. Shit. We'll be Jake's out $5 now. Fuck.
Yeah, I'm out $5.
We will be back next week. Thank you for watching a second of reality. We will be back next Tuesday. See ya.